President Trump standing where thousands of Allied troops gathered the night before D-Day.
Almighty God.
Almighty God.
Echoing FDR and the prayer that president delivered to America this same day 75 years ago.
And we know that
By thy grace and by the righteous of our cause, our sons will triumph.
The emotional ceremony in Portsmouth, attended by world leaders and the Queen.
My father, King George VI, said, "What is demanded from us all is something more than courage and endurance. We need a revival of spirit."
The president and first lady greeting those humble heroes who again made the journey across the Atlantic, this time to commemorate the battle that turned the tide in World War II. The president himself never joined the military, receiving draft deferments during Vietnam, but was asked in an interview airing today if he wishes he had served.
I was not a fan of that war. That war was not something
Would you
that
like
we should
to
have been
serve
involved.
generally, perhaps in another?
I would not have minded that at all. I would have been honored, but I think I make up for it right now.
In that same sit-down, President Trump again responded to Meghan Markle's criticism of him in 2016.
And with as misogynistic as Trump is and so vocal about it.
She was nasty to me, and that's okay for her to be nasty. It's not good for me to be nasty to her, and I wasn't. And in fact, I think she's doing very well.
But those comments never came up in conversation with her husband, Prince Harry, according to the president.
I congratulated him, and I think he's a terrific guy. The royal family is really nice.
And even after his meeting with Harry's father, Prince Charles, who's passionate about climate change, the president continued to question the scientific consensus on the issue.
Do you personally believe in climate change?
I believe that there's a change in weather, and I think it changes both ways.
Also in that interview, the president says he would prefer talk over military action in Iran, a topic that may come up when President Trump sits down with the French president tomorrow here in France. That'll be after the president delivers a speech here on these sacred grounds, Lester.
All right, Hallie Jackson, thank you. Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.